Hola niños, ¿cómo están? Today's letter is the letter J. J. The letter J sounds a little bit like our letter H in Spanish, but with a little bit more of a sound to it. So let's look at some words that start with the letter J. First, we have a giraffe. In Spanish, we call him a jirafa. Jirafa. Next, we have a jaguar. The word jaguar is actually a Spanish word that we use in English. In Spanish, they say jaguar. Jaguar. Next, we have some juice. Juice in Spanish is called jugo. Jugo. And last, we have a garden. In Spanish, a garden is called a jardín. Jardín. Now let's look at a place that begins with the letter J. This place is called Jalisco. Jalisco. In Mexico, it's divided up into states, just like the United States is. And Jalisco is one of the states in Mexico. Jalisco is famous for a bunch of different things. It's famous for its architecture, with lots and lots of old churches and old buildings that were built hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's also famous for its dancing. The girls wear these very fluffy skirts and high-heeled boots, and they stomp with their boots and shake their skirt around in a special traditional dance that they do in Jalisco. And finally, Jalisco is famous for a special kind of soup called pozole. It's made with corn. You soak the corn, and the corn turns all fluffy, almost like popcorn. And then you put it into this soup, and you can add all kinds of other things into your soup, like onions, or sour cream, or a little bit of cilantro, or even lettuce sometimes people put into their soup. It's really, really delicious. So if you ever get a chance to try pozole, make sure you try it. Next, let's look at a person. This person's name is Juanes. His real name is Juan Esteban. So he took his first name Juan and the beginning of his middle name Esteban and smushed it together to make the name Juanes. Juanes is a rock star, and he is from Colombia. He sings songs only in Spanish, but he's famous all over the world where there are Spanish-speaking countries. He plays the guitar and he sings, but nowadays he doesn't quite look like this picture because he decided that he looked better with short hair. So he cut his hair and he looks most like this now. So you might find Juanes even in the Thanksgiving Day parade. He was there. He's on TV a lot too because he's such a famous rock star. He sings really good songs too. And our last person, his name is Rey Juan Carlos de Borbón. And believe it or not, that's only a little bit of his name. Rey Juan Carlos is the King of Spain. And here's what he looks like. Most of the time, you won't see him walking around wearing a crown or sitting in a throne. He looks most like a president, maybe, but you might not recognize him as a king. But he's the King of Spain, and he's a good king. And his wife, Sofia, is the queen, and they have children who are the princes and princesses of Spain. And so they get to be in the royal family and live in the royal palace, but they don't dress maybe like they're kings and queens. They kind of dress just like they're regular people. So that's the letter J, and that's all for today. We'll see you next time. Adios, amigos.